What's up everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and in this video I'm going to share the 6 income streams that I was able to build by the age of 25. This might not be a typical way of building your career, and that's why I think this could be quite interesting and also useful for you during the pandemic period, as nowadays everything is online and building some extra income streams will never hurt you. But before we commence, please don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, subscribe and contact me via Instagram. This all started a few years ago when I was looking for different career opportunities while at university. And to give you a bit of an overview of what I was doing, I studied business and management at the University of Manchester in the UK, and then I did my postgraduate studies at London School of Economics in London. So I had a pretty good background in economics, business management and finance. And of course, my main career options were looking into investment banking or oil and gas or any other commercial companies that are based in the UK or even all over the world. So I started applying for different companies and different internships in various departments and even countries. I first did an experience in India where I was working for a tax consulting company, and that was more of an apprentice kind of job, which was followed by a real job in investment banking, where I got the role of an investment banking intern and I was working on an oil and gas project in Central and Eastern Europe. And this experience helped me a lot to get my next job. And that one was the job that I had for 3 years at Shell. I first started as an intern. I was working in the operations department for the retail business, and then I moved on working for lubricants and digital ventures and all kind of other departments, but mainly looking at the digital sector. So if we put it this way, then the first income stream was the full-time job. And although I know many people who started their companies without even having any kind of experience, I would still strongly advise anyone who wants to start their company or start freelancing or any kind of other income stream to look at having a full-time job or a part-time job that would have constant income coming in and out every single month. That makes you feel a bit more confident, and you know that you have some extra money that you can spend on your housing or on your food, and you don't need to rely on anyone else, such as your family members or any friends, or be stuck with some lack of money that you have to return to some kind of credits or anything like that. That's why if you want to start building your income streams, then first start with your full-time or part-time job that brings you constant money every single month, and you know that you have something that is coming in and will feed you. So while I was building my experience at Shell in the digital ventures department, and I also had my knowledge from the university in business segments and business planning and financial appraisals, I decided that I will move forward with some freelancing and start exploring options. Therefore, my second income stream is freelancing on UpWork. UpWork is one of the largest freelancing websites in the world. It has a really strong community of job seekers and clients. So you could find anything on this platform. You could freelance on anything that you like and even try to experiment on your skills that you have never earned money on. So since I knew that I was working at Shell in the digital ventures department, I was building some core skills there, I wanted also to develop my other skills that I had during the university. So that's how I decided to set up my freelancer profile and help companies with their business planning, with financial reports, with income statements or marketing plans. I'll be very open and transparent to you. In the first few months, it was really hard to adapt and to build your profile. Starting with nothing, having no clients and having no ratings is really hard for you to grow and highlight your profile in the myriad of freelancers that are on the platform. However, one day I received a notification that someone hired me for a really small job for about $200, and it was probably one of the happiest days in my life. I jumped out of my bed and replied to the email and basically kickstarted working on his project straight away. It was a strategic analysis for 3 cosmetics companies in the USA, and it was something interesting for me and also where I had some knowledge about, as I was doing this kind of strategic analysis and plannings for companies before. before. So I really had fun and I enjoyed doing this project, and I delivered it in I think 2 or 3 days. The client in the end was very satisfied. I got some bonuses, and this was my first project for my second income stream. And I have built upon that ever since. My profile was growing, I had more clients, and I also was able to select from different projects, had more interviews, and even work by hour. Although for anyone who is starting, I would highly recommend not accepting any contracts on hourly pay, because UpWork doesn't guarantee any kind of reimbursement if the client doesn't pay. So I would really go for fixed priced contracts first. I even had a situation where a client didn't pay me for work that I delivered in about 2 weeks, and it was a very bad experience. So I would definitely suggest you go for fixed price contracts, and then when you have some good clients and you see that they have really good ratings and earnings in the past or payments for other clients, then definitely go for hourly pay as well. I will also leave the link in the description below for UpWork, and you can sign up there. You can explore any kind of jobs. And for someone who is hiring, you can also explore the freelancers and what they offer currently on that market. It is also important to note on the legal side, UpWork charges 20% VAT for the freelancers. It doesn't charge anything for the client, and you're also liable to pay your very own taxes. So you should register yourself as self-employed or open a limited company and do your taxes after you have been paid. In my case, I found the easiest way to be registered as a self-employed entity, and in that case, the process is very easy. You go on gov.co.uk if you're in UK, you do all the process for registering as a self-employed person, and then you just have to submit your taxes when the time comes. Nevertheless, if you're interested to find out more about UpWork, you can comment below, you can reach to me via Instagram, and I'll give you more information about that. Now let's continue with the third income stream. And in my case, that's about investments. What do I mean by that? There are many ways to divide your investments into either investments in stocks or companies where you have dividends payments, also investments in early stage startups, which is also called venture capital, and that's where I fall, or in case that you have larger sums of money, for example starting from $10,000 as a first investment, you can also look at companies that have diversified portfolios such as Vanguard or BlackRock and any other big companies on the market. In that case, you can leverage their experience to invest in a diversified portfolio and manage it for yourself during a year or a longer time period, and you have an annual return in terms of percentage, and usually that's in between 8 to 10%, which is really not bad. However, in my case, that's about VC investments, and I'm really passionate about financial technology, as you know. That's why even when I was in university, I was looking at any kind of really early stage startups. At that time it was Revolut, Monzo, TransferWise, N26. There were thousands of digital banks and small fintech companies that are on the market. I did all my kind of research and I tried to find platforms where I can invest or where I can even meet the team sometimes. And that's how I got into venture capital. Initially I started with 2 websites, and that's Seedrs and Crowdcube. There are of course many other platforms where you can invest. However, for me personally, these 2 platforms were the best ones. They're easy to use, they have all the opportunities clearly selected and listed on your screen, and you have your portfolio where you can manage your investments, you can see how much it grew, and you can even sell them on the secondary market if you use Seedrs. So at the time I started, there were a couple of big unicorns nowadays, and that was Revolut and Monzo, which were the 2 main investments of mine. I still have lots of shares in Monzo, and I'm not planning to sell them anytime soon, because I know the people working there, I know the CEO, and their purpose and their ambition is much higher than they're currently worth. So I'm pretty sure they will be on top of the Forbes companies very soon. And most probably I'll be waiting for the IPO, and I suggest anyone who invested in Monzo or Revolut to wait for the same. Nevertheless, if we go back to our discussion, as the third income stream, that's VC investments, and you can check the websites. I will leave the links below, and you can see there are thousands of opportunities in any kind of sector. For me personally, I see more value in financial technology and anything that is related to digitalization, and that's why I'm mainly looking at that. But you can also look at other sectors. As I remember, there were a couple of companies that also grew very, very fast and are currently worth much more than they were about 5 years ago. One of them is Brewdog, which was also on the website, and currently it's one of the leading breweries in UK. Finally, to wrap up on the third income stream, it is important to note that this is a income stream that is not very short term. I always look at these investments as long term, meaning 3 to 5 years return on capital. I waited for about 2-3 years. When I returned my capital, it was about, I think, 1,000% return, which was insane. However, there are also cases, and I had more than 10 companies that failed, and you should assume the risks and know that you might lose in one investment and you might win in another one. The main important aspect is to have the balance higher than your investment. And with that said, let's move on to the fourth income stream. And in my case, that's real estate. And it's important to know that in this income stream, I actually am looking at real estate as an investment or subletting. So many people would say real estate could come in many forms. For me, I would like to separate this one into one stream, and the second one that I'm going to discuss shortly, it's going to be about property management. So starting with the first one, which is real estate investments. Of course, this is something that you can't do straight away after finishing uni or having your first job. This income stream requires more time and more money, of course. And that's exactly why I was able to do that only about after 3-4 years of work, and I was saving a lot of money to kickstart this project. However, even in this case, there are lots of opportunities that can give you more leverage and more opportunities to start this income stream quicker. And some of them are mortgages. And I know you will say we are in a pandemic and it's very volatile and it's very risky to invest in anything on this planet. However, if you pay attention to the interest rates that are now on the market, you will probably observe that they are at their very lowest for the past few years, and that's why I think this is actually the best time to invest in real estate. Everyone needs money nowadays, even the banks, and that's why you will receive really good interest rates, you will receive all kinds of assistance, and because not many people are currently investing and everyone is looking into doing so, you will also receive better negotiation on the price of the house. And that's why I really believe this is an amazing opportunity to invest in real estate. So in my case, I started looking at apartments in the UK and also in Eastern Europe. There are a lot of good options and they are very different from each other because some were already furnished, some were unfurnished, and the third example is of buildings that were not even started. And all of them are really good investment opportunities because some of them you could negotiate the price better. For example, in the case of the buildings that are not even started, you can lower the price or you can negotiate the payment rates or terms. For the furbished apartments, usually people might need money more at this time of the year and you can negotiate the price as well. Although I know the process of getting a mortgage is really difficult, it's actually not. If you do all your research and if you get a mortgage advisor, which is not very expensive, you will be pretty able to get your mortgage within 2 to 3 months in UK. Long story short, the best thing if you start investing in real estate is to diversify your portfolio. For example, in my case, I invested in a couple of buildings by myself. Some of them I took mortgages, and I did a mixed portfolio that will allow me to be able to sell them quickly and to negotiate the prices if I want to buy another one or anything else. So in case anything happens or there are some external circumstances that might affect your property in one location or because of other things, you can quickly sell them or you can win in one place and lose in another one. That's why having more income streams is really helpful because if one is lacking, the other income stream could surpass it and could help you with the things that you lost or the money that you lost into another place. Also, when investing in real estate, it's very important to calculate the interest amount that you're going to pay over a given time period and to calculate accordingly what is the best time period for you to get this mortgage for. To give you an example, in Western countries, usually there is a payback period and you also have some payback charges if you pay in advance. That's why in some Western countries, you might end up paying more because you have to repay a charge or repay more interest if you're taking for a larger period. While in some Eastern countries, you can also have the situation where the repayment rate or the charge is not even applicable. So, of course, it's going to be easier to get the mortgage and better for yourself if you get it for 24 years or 30 years and you repay it quicker, because you're not going to be charged for the remaining months. Now going into the fifth income stream, which is very related to the previous one, I'm going to talk about property management and how you can set up something in property management that will also help you kickstart your real estate career. So why I actually separated these two income streams? I did that because the first one is only about investments. That's passive income. You don't do anything except finding the opportunities and closing it. Sometimes you might also manage the opportunity from start to finish, or you can also do some more work when you're trying to find clients to sell the property to. This is very passive income, and you're only looking at the profit that you have at the end of the sale. Alternatively, in the second income stream that is related to real estate, you have property management, which is definitely not as passive. And the reason I'm saying that is that in property management, you have to do quite a lot of things and also do them constantly and regularly. So in my case, after quitting my full-time job at Shell last year and moving to Bali, I had the really good opportunity to start my career in property management. And I did that by first looking at subletting opportunities. Subletting is when you find a place or a house that you would like to rent and you rent it out secondarily to the other people. So for example, to win in this case, you can get a property for a longer time period and just market it or rent it out for the second time on Airbnb or Booking or any other kind of booking website. At the end of the day, you're going to be profiting by the difference that you're paying to the lender and the difference that you're earning from the websites. So usually if you're renting out on shorter periods, you will earn more money and you will be able to pay back the payment that you agreed on the long term and leave the profit to yourself. Some people like to call this Airbnb arbitrage or booking arbitrage, which is also a correct term to call it. And that anyway falls into the real estate property management income stream. So going back to my case, I started with only one villa, which was closer to the beach and in a very, very popular region in Bali. I did all kinds of marketings and arrangements before starting the actual Airbnb business, which is why I separated this income stream to the previous one. It's definitely not passive, and you have to do a lot of activities such as marketing the company and marketing the villa as well. You also do all the operational stuff such as getting employees. And then you also do the setting up for the Airbnb and other websites. You also do some kind of pricing strategies at the start that will develop further afterwards. And you have to be always involved with the company because you have bookings, you have people coming in and out, you have complaints, and you have all kinds of things that you have to be addressed, or you have to look with your employees to do them right. So for example, when I started, we had a couple of issues with for example, cleaning the rooms at the start. I didn't have enough employees, or cleaning the swimming pool, or replacing something in the house. And that was a lot of tedious stuff that I had to look over. That's why this became kind of my full-time job while I was in Bali. And it lasted until I got someone involved into the business and I got an actual property manager working under me and having his employees on the side. Only then I was able to move on and look at other opportunities and also have this one pretty stable and with good returns for both my employees and for me. Also, that's the time when I started looking for bigger opportunities and for partners. I developed a really good property management plan and I suggested that to a couple of businessmen in the area. Long story short, I signed a contract with one of the businessmen and I had a property management plan that I suggested to him, where I was doing all the finances, all the setting up for the platforms such as Airbnb, Booking and other ones. And I was also looking at all the bookings and the client satisfaction. So in this case, this was a pretty different income stream because it was only about property management. I was doing it from anywhere in the world and I was only looking at a couple of sections that were responsible for bringing more clients in and bringing more profit to both me and my partner. There are also other types of opportunities working in property management. I know people who are doing Instagram or YouTube and just marketing. Also, there is affiliate marketing where you can put the link of your Airbnb or villa in the video or any kind of social media space, and you will get the commission out of that. That's why this is a pretty interesting place to be in, and it's not a very hard income stream to start because you don't really invest anything but your time, which is worth a lot of money. Trust me. Finally, after establishing a couple of income streams, I was able to, at the time, quit my job and look at other opportunities. I was getting more into online stuff and looking at financial technology evolution and some other innovation in the digital marketing space. And that's how I ended up to my sixth income stream, and that's working on Fiverr. Well, that's only how it sounds at the start because it's not really working on Fiverr. That's only the start of it. Currently, we have a real company doing all this job. However, to be very basic and give you more information on how to get into this income stream, I will currently look at Fiverr. And that's a pretty good platform to kickstart any kind of small freelancing activities where you have a fixed price for one of your offerings, but you can also give a custom price. And you could do anything from $5, which is where the name comes from, Fiverr, to I think about 10,000 if you are a premium seller. Achieving the top seller status takes a lot of time. There are a lot of requirements. You have to make, I think, more than $20,000 in total. You have to do more than 200 sales or having customers from more countries in the world. And this consequently gives you a lot of opportunities. Because being a top seller, you'll be always favored on the Fiverr's main page. You will always be promoted, you will have better rankings, and you will also have this top seller banner on your profile. Before going into that, let me tell you how you can start on that and what you are going to offer on the platform. So in my case, because I was working a lot with social media and I knew how to develop different marketing strategies, I created a platform that is basically looking at promotion and advertising on all kinds of social media platforms. We started with doing anything from SEO to shoutouts on Instagram and YouTube to working with a couple of freelancers and also influencers from different countries in the world to do the shoutouts, and we basically bring all the traffic to the client's website, social platform, or anything else. And consequently, we track the result by looking at how many sales there were made and what was the visibility of the account or the product that our client was selling, and understand what is the niche market for them to basically offer a better plan in the future and build their audience online. A lot of opportunities for copywriting, branding, filmmaking or editing, social media management, and any other services that people might use for their online presence. So I will leave a link below and hope you find this website helpful, even as a freelancer or as a client. I personally use this website as a client many times. I even used it for creating some of my initial YouTube photoshopping, and that was pretty good. It was a really good experience, was effective and on time. And that's why I'm recommending it to anyone, and I will leave the link below. Check it out and tell me in the comments below how you found it. Overall, we have covered all the income streams that I was able to achieve by the age of 25. Although this was my very own case, my personal experience, and it could be different for other people, I still hope very much that you found this video useful and you might use some of the income streams that I currently use. Hope you will find the links below helpful for you or for your business. And before closing the video, like always, please smash the thumbs up button, comment below, subscribe, and contact me via Instagram. See you next time. Goodbye.